Hello, I'm Leon the Pig Farmer, and this is a selection of diverse and undulating verse that I've written. First one is called Reality versus Normality. Reality normality will not be televised. Camp Fear will clash with algorithm anarchists. I'm living in a boombox of bureaucracy, and I'm staring at a scrapbook of unicorns and mirrors. The soulless will slur with a curse, crown jewels to the favoured fools. Kinetic energy will ignite the cast of creatives, and I'm propelled into an odyssey of mischief. Newspapers stoke and poke the fire. Adrenaline-fueled assaults will wave to ambient light. Dry your eyes on sandpaper and a drop frozen shoulder. Let's smell the whiskey and taste the daffodils. Intelligence suppression dictated ideologies, a 2-page ad-lib manifesto, a demolition derby of social structures, rewired principles force-fed by disciples. They've burnt the lexicon of us libertarians, a political apothecary of concocted aggression measures. Visionaries are concealed in cargo containers, but hope will shine bright in the dark. I will not subscribe to their fake placated policies. Any interest and enthusiasm has lapsed and expired. Embryonic spirits groomed by corporate criminals, but I will not bark at Bedlam's door. Because they mould it bold and it's cheaply sold. A propaganda painting at a poll station. The Petri dish is a gutter of an alien nation, and I am going to gatecrash a trash party scene. Let's kick up leaves in Indian summers. Let's kick up leaves in Indian summers. Time to choke and strangle the oppressor. Under a blood-red sky, it will be time for a successor. Because they buried their believers with their melted souls. Dystopian highways are paved in fool's gold. The sellotapes on highs and hooks in skin. They've got abrasions on knees and their blood-clotted grin. They have fragrant opinions and cremated truths. They've reached their ceiling with its leaky roof. Catapult puzzles, hidden provocation, its disjointed messages in their disorganisation. Where capitalist coyotes hunt in packs and the VIP vultures pick up their table scraps, offering up false hope with blood-killed decanters, hoping that the cesspit will bring everything to dismantle. And they create equations to create the weak. They mask their hide, their raven's beak. Alarm bells shriek and death bells toll, and they huddle and they cuddle, keeping us in the cold. And they market the mayhem and flog it in hordes. They paint their picture on advert boards as they wash away acidic tears and rip the script of satirical jeers. Because costumes are not created to deflect these failures, and they are not the angels who came as saviours. With second-hand theories, first-degree crimes, incendiary solutions will implode in time. Thank you. The second one is moving on from a political observation to me personally and what started my mental health recovery, and it's called Parole and Law's Links. I'm a professor of sin. I'm a light-footed tiptoe man. I'm the abandonment of all hope. I flew in reverse, avoided the rope. See, I'm a life raft shaky and deflated. I'm an ego that was self-created. I'm a fifth gear, a steam machine, and I'm a psychologist, dampened dream. I was great getting in and bad getting out. There's twisters, hurricanes, electric clouds. There's rain and sun all in a day. There's no pot of gold because my rainbow was grey. So why did I stand in an empty room with the lights all off, holding balloons? Why did I stand on a rocking chair with my blanket discarded and a chill in the air? I am the man in the mirror. I am the self-deceiver. I was a destiny creator, and believe me, I was a self-hater. Yes, I'm surging negative. I am surging positive. I'm master of self-flagellation. I've got convictions for manipulation. I wore a plastic veil to hide the stare. I stood in halls of a badger's lair. I climbed trees, I laid in hay. A schoolboy error was the price I paid. Sentenced to gutters with time served. 1 in a million, the door is jarred. Tectonic shudders set me free. They let me breathe and made me believe. See, I'm leaving this Hibernian land. I'm treading in grains of volcanic sand. There is only one space, and a comma, between man's laughter and man's slaughter. Because I am the whisper man. There's no more catch me if you can. No longer a theatre projectionist. No smoke and mirrors or blue mist. And I can see those bulging eyes of confusion, misunderstanding my recent corrosion. Locks are broken, chains removed. The storm has passed. I've got nothing to prove. So they can go ahead. They can scream their sirens. They can flash blue lights. They can hide behind them. They can go blow whistles and muster troops. Because people like me, we look different when speaking the truth. Because I did offend in the law's links of steel. The bridal mask suppressed me squeals. The cat of nine tails for thieves in gangs, and the candlelight crevice offered one last chance. The birch whip was broken at the scrubbing block, a silent system at the night watch clock, heraldic symbols of a birdfoot sign and the skylight view for the moon at night. So punish, redeem, or set me free from the solitary state penitentiary. Brand me left arm on a stone cold floor. Smash the brass bell against the riveted door. The turnkey of time, the felons of the free, treadwheel of the labours against bars of disbelief, and the barricaded walls, and the barbed wire fence, and the sandstone halls, and the critically condemned. You know, they threw me into a pigeon room, a desperate dungeon for this dogged mule. False failures will form foundations, and I'm the yeomanry of new revelations. So I turned the key, it's a life sentence and 3 cycles complete. I have jumped the bar to forge a freedom. I've took my lion's share of this uncaged kingdom. I'm no longer looking through fingered hands, the door's unhinged with a battering ram. No debt accrued, I've reached its mission. And they're no longer feeling what's under suppression. And I no longer deal in grape and grain, I fall, I float among the crashing waves, echoes and voids, no longer test my sanity. Lesson learned, you can never beat gravity. Thank you. And this next one is called The Monkey and the Devil. And this is literally what used to go through my head before I started my recovery of post-traumatic stress disorder and therapy, etc. And there's one line in it called Saru Mokikara Achiru, which is Japanese, and it's a proverb for even a monkey falls from a tree, which means any of us can mess up. It's just how we pick ourselves up. So that's the moral of the story. There's the geezer with a long leather coat, red paisley bandana that covers his throat, a tilted trilby eye so vicious and he lurks in the corner of my subconscious. He's a waiter to the world of my emotional dysfunction. He serves ready meals to my personal destruction. I accept his twisted, malevolent suggestion and I dine on guilt and a bottle of correction. But when did I let him decide and wait for the bill to restore my pride? The menu reads like an old damaged story with every attempt to remove life's glory. See, this is Twilight Crazy Town. Why should I pay with my voice and sound? I dig deep and I delve for me 9 out of 10. A 3-course thoughts to feelings and to actions, and I will win. So I stop. And I reflect, and I don't collaborate or even reject. I'm intrusive, I ask my thoughts why, and I don't contemplate or listen to lies. Did he serve you? Did they get in the way? Did they deserve you? Can those thoughts stay? Never be ashamed of what you've done. Be punching proud of what you've become. I confront stories of a tiger and hunter, of milk and honey, and they make me wonder. A pauper farmer and a broken son, those of wild horses and what the army has done. I will fold paper into fighter planes. These are flying fucks to help, not blame. I won't let the cash cow grind me down. I'm going to take back the orb and the thornless crown. I'll pour water on flames of suppression. I'll pour petrol on hope so we burn with passion. I'll restore cracks with glistening gold. We are unique histories in a story to be told. You see, the reaper sits with a rusty blade. He's frowning, he's cowering. Our futures are made. Here is a message that I will give to you. Saromo Kikara Achiru. Because even a monkey falls from a tree. My monkey fell from a tree and one day yours could too. And it's how you pick yourself up and believe. Because I took on the devil. And my heart is no longer presented without a black and tortured soul. And I'm instructing Lucifer to go and ride on home. I'll unhinge, remove myself from the ebony cross. I'll extract those nails one by one and hold my hands aloft. So come on then, Diablo, let your dog off the leash. I'll stare into its gaping jaws and break its pissing teeth. The black sheep fingers are burned, still placed on a trigger. You're a darkened silhouette. I'm a lonely standing figure. So come on then, old Nick. I ain't afraid of this. I'm going to grip you. I'm going to choke you. I'll silence your snake hiss. And I will escort you from my party and vanquish you because this is my life. And you think you can extinguish my candle in the night? I don't think so, Darkened Prince, because you think you can shine brighter. I'm the fierce dog now. I'm a battler and I'm a fighter, and I will not be imprisoned or suffer in a golden silence. The cemetery gates are ripped open and I will dance without a shyness. So let's sit across this table, Baphomet. You've played your final ace. I'm healing, you're deceiving. I spit in your face. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this next one is called Cutting Crew, and it's an observation of walking around Manchester streets and the changes that have occurred and how we can help other people out less fortunate than ourselves. I am sat where crack and smack once ruled. Another illicit activity ensued. A derelict warehouse, forgotten industry. I'm now met with corporate chattery. There are vans on show still, not them of dibble. They are canvassing the coat with pale ale dribble. There are Instagrammers after instant grams, twattering twits, increasing fake fam. Vapors, fakers, turn-ups to knees, and those one stroke from turning Japanese. Beards and sleeves with cider and gin. Those on craft ale till a new trend kicks in. Oh, so why is it called the cutting room square? Any association to your crap peaky blinder hair? Your bag and bag of dip, you're blind of it substandard. Mate, if this was the 90s, you still wouldn't have landed. I'm informed it's a centrepiece, a new public realm. This ain't Game of Thrones, there's no dragon at the helm. The copper green sentinels depict history. They erased Manchester's empire, replaced it with commercial greed. Because here come the Hitlers invading from bars and they're trying to monopolise with tables and chairs. And they aren't the clever with booths from their stores. It's a public place, you muppets, and they know the score. It's a fine line ensuing from what I see, vying for fake profiles or real IDs. There's low inflated egos and there's some self-esteem. This is the new Ancoats of living and it's the Islington of dreams. But I tell you what, you can run, you can't hide. Here comes last man standing selling swag and some snide. And he's only after coins to catch a bus or a brew. But their people think it's for digging. They say wait to make him move. See, the scenester and internet pleasers, this ain't about them. This is about the ever-expanding gentrified power dens, because where once was identity and a city's heartbeat, it's now replaced with aesthetics, conformity and sheep. Because Manchester once had tables for dancing on. Now it's got pavements for sleeping on. We live under the shadow of the hacienda, where factories and warehouses become the helpless shelters. A city that once did things differently. We're all now just a vote commodity. A city with 2 multi-millionaire football teams, but when the scores on the doorways are just broken dreams. So if you go down on the streets today, you are sure of a big surprise. If you look down on the streets today, there are people in disguise. There are sleeping bags, cardboard box, ripped up jackets and shoeless socks. But this is still where the capitalists will have their picnic. Will you walk past or lean down to give them a hand and not take the biscuit? Thank you. Okay, my last one. And I'll finish on a lighter, happier note. And this one is about some observations around town travelling on public transport. And it's called Trams and Buses. And these are all the people I've met and observed and wrote notes down. So, yeah, if you're on public transport and you see me, turn away and don't talk. You might make a poem. Shit the bed, what was that? Have you never heard of a diplodocus? I only boarded the pink line to get to town the closest. Called the cops, I'm off my chops, came from a mobile device and his mate was banned from Facebook for posting pictures of his hairy arse. Discussions about Chewbacca, is it a dick or a dog's red rocket? And why does a girl's makeup run but stays on your clothes when you wash it? Debates about Jeremy or Boris, like deciding to be burnt or hung, and a young musical prodigy cup overflows whilst announcing good singers die young. An art student ain't part of culture. He says it currently isn't his time. His mates sit bored taking selfies, then they board to another tram line. The girls, they're talking Leeds Festival and they're going to let their hair down. But Glasgow's they'll want a name check. But it's just too far to trek down south. See, I jump off board at Market Street and I jib through the gardens to the station. And the only conversation that I experience is a choice of particular libation. Because down at Piccadilly there's a moody side. Dog eat dog is prowling inside. He's knocking hard on Rapunzel's door and she retracts the hair from this dirty 54. His sidekick Zebedee's on his toes and dilated. And this fucking crank should be castrated. He said he's a party geezer from the 80s rave as he clutches 2 peanuts in a rusty suitcase. There is Duracell Dave. He's got a bag of swag. A AAA service that oozes from his bag. Crack pipe Carol, Brownfall Phil, they're shaking, they're rattling, they've just run from the bill. There is Clayton Chris, he stinks a piss. There's Alttown Hazel, mops up jizz. Drolsden Donna is Larian Gold and Audenshaw Andy compliments her painted toes. So this is 2 tram lines with contrasting stories. It's a diverse theatre, celebrates Manchester's glory. We're on 3 zone plays of beggars and believers and the yellow submarines of the Manchester's new age script writers. Until I joined the bus. Because I joined the bustle of life's lethargic. I unmasked the classes, it's a world departed. I travel down alleys of grotesque graffiti. Heads are bowed and no one sees clearly. There's echoes in cans that bleed from the curse. There's box set brags and spoiler alerts. A lad's telling tales to light up a crowd. The lights were on red, but the flower's still out. There's diamond and painted fingers frame phones. Puffed up lips tell tales of woe. Tinder boy was 35, he said he was 30 and he's even got a kid but she's still got flirty. And her mate's making olives and she's got tagine. The chemist was shut, she's making CBD. A fella's like Aladdin and a carpet vac is coming round after Corrie, a spray tan and a nap. And Mary's got gossip coming back from the vets. 2 jabs, she's standing but her dog's on the shelf. Jenny's getting married to a lad that slapped her and Gary got divorced. Now he's full of laughter. There are grafter bants, there's football chat, but his van's got seized, he was grasped by a rat. The Amazon box pile starts to grow, but his house won't flog 'cause the market's slow. And Wendy gets emails from a prince, but it's fraud. Her husband gets them, well, from your filthy young girls abroad. And the cops are knocking on their house down the street, it's either unpaid fines or a terrorist meet. And Vanilla Ice starts work at Asda soon. Is going to get discount cheap fags and booze. The goth docks on seat with platform soles. And mascara runs 'cause her bloke's shoulder is cold. And fishnets are trawlers caught in spider's web. The ladders are so tall, but no one fell. 10 green bottles and Tina's ready for a fall. And the red's all gone and mate struggles to walk. And cats linger outside in polythene veils. There's no commuter chaos, no bus late trains. Smoke bombs linger in a skylight view. Tonight, one of the people I've just mentioned will be on BBC North West News. Thank you very much. I am Leon the Pig Farmer. Thank you a lot.
So, Leon, where can people find your stuff online?
You can find me online at Facebook, Leon the Pig Farmer. You can also find me on Instagram at LeonTPF71. You can find me on Twitter at Leon_pig. And I have a website which is www.thepigfarmer.art. I also have stuff that I do as these words to music as the dirt. And they can also be found on social medias, linked in with any Leon the Pig Farmer stuff.
Awesome. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you very much.